Don't worry, I won't dance this time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been waiting for quite a while. Actually, I shouldn't say quite a while. It hasn't been that long since the figure was announced, but here it is, Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. This is entirely new tooling, as we all know. I got this from thecommandstore.com. Actually got it earlier in the week, but a series of events. I wasn't able to open it till a couple days later, and I'm not able to film until now. And which, by the way, as of this recording, I think it's September 14th, Saturday. Command Store is out of stock, but Amazon has pushed up the delivery date to mid-October instead of late October, so there is that. Now, this is a beefy figure, very nice. I'm going to say, hold on, just checking here. Might be rubber wheels, but I'm not sure. I kind of hope not, because I'm hearing reports that figures that have had come with rubber wheels, they've actually started to deteriorate already, which is kind of a shame because those are figures, Beachcomber, Sandstorm, not even a year old. But yep, this is the cab, the trailer, the whole caboose. I know we just looked at a Optimus Prime with the cab. Very nice. Excuse me, with the trailer, the Hot Wheels. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to take the Prime figure off right now. We're going to take a look at that in a few seconds, and we're going to focus on the trailer. Now, there's not a lot new going on with this trailer, so I'm only going to focus on what's new. I mean, we kind of know what to expect from an Optimus Prime trailer. First thing, though, is the stand right here for when its Prime is disattached. That's new. Much better attachment, screwed into place, sturdier plastic. That next, what you want to do is come in behind here, and you can actually flip down this section and open up the back here. And much like Commander Class Hot Rodimus Prime, you can store blast effects. Close that back up, and these blast effects, as we quickly bring back in Optimus, are to recreate his iconic launching pose. These do come in separate pieces. There's a right side, there's a left side. So what you want to do is underneath here on that red section, there's some slots that these will tap into, and just like that, if I can get them in right. Oh, that might have that backwards. Hmm. I had it. It's just this particular one does not like to stay in. I mean, this one goes in quite fine, and this one will just have to. But as you can see, it's meant to recreate that lifting off pose. Oh, you know what? Ah, there we go. There's a section. Yeah, there we go. They actually hooks around the side, but it's meant to recreate that 2 seconds of prime lifting off the ground right before it's about to transform. So there you go. That's how it's supposed to look. Very nice. Put these off to the side. Uh, and going back to the trailer, now we're going to open it. This is new. I'm going to flip that up. It does tap into place, so that's nice. These struts, usually they'll just have it like rotate out and that's it. Or if they want to be like on a masterpiece, it would be like an automorph with the securing bar coming down. This you just got to rotate it down into place, just like so, and then pop the back open, pop the sides open, and here we go. Now we're familiar. Oh boy, Let me just adjust the camera here. Now we're familiar with these trailers. We know what they're supposed to do. As you can see, Roller will actually tap into the front of the drone there. You have storage for the ion blaster, the blast effects, and the axe. One thing to note is that you can switch where you put the ion blaster and the axe. There's spaces for it on either side. Just, you can't have both on the same side. And also, there is a little post where the blast effect for the axe pegs into, as well as these regular blast effects right here. So you get that double security, which is kind of nice. Just you can see right there. We'll take a look at these more when we get into robot mode. But I do appreciate that they put that little extra layer of protection in. So let's get this back down here. So like I said, roller pads in. That's actually pretty handy, uh, just to make sure it doesn't roll around in the trailer and stuff. Yeah. Unfortunately, some of my blast effects were a little warped, and one minor quibble. Roller pegs in from the front instead of the rear. So there is that. You come down the ramp, can toward can tow the trailer, the battle platform. Now, this does not have the openings here on the side that it can pop through the top, which is unfortunate, but that is animation accurate. What what isn't animation accurate? Oh, actually, no, this is actually an animation accurate. Is you can remove this and peg it into roller, and, and of course, let's just go ahead and open it up here, and there you go. The arm, the claws open. The front here, blast effect compatible. Interesting thing, the canopy does open like on the original toy. Not sure if that's animation accurate. What really gets me though is on the Masterpiece 3, this could remove and this whole section could become a stand for Optimus. Obviously, this is a little short here, but it would have been nice if it could open up. But there you go. I mean, let's get back into its place here. Just tabs right in. It doesn't tab into the pack of Prime that like the Earthrise mold did. So that play feature has been removed, but you do have pretty much everything else that you would want from uh, the battle platform here. I would say, you know, I'm sure somebody would prefer more of the Diaclone features, but this isn't Diaclone. This is, Optimus Prime. So just since we're going to get into the transformation in a moment, let me go ahead and remove the axe, the ion blaster, and one of the blast effects here, just to demonstrate some features. But again, roller just rolls right up, takes into place, blows this back up, blows up the back, and in a nutshell, that was the trailer. So, and then just folds right up like that. Bring this stand back down. Really, and the trailer is much larger than the Earthrise version. I should mention that. But really, I think we're all here for the big guy. So let's go ahead and pause, and we'll get into the transformation. Okay, I adjust the camera slightly. Now, the transformation, if you're familiar with Masterpiece 3.0, yeah, uh, this is big. This is like it, but much more refined. Uh, it's easier than that. I'm not going to say this is a difficult transformation. In fact, we're going to go from cab to robot. I'll do a transformation video going from robot to cab. It's not difficult, just a little involved. So to start things off, you want to come underneath here and rotate the wheel panels in, and then the part that really does borrow from that Masterpiece 3.0, you want to come in here and then rotate this panel down. When you get it about here, rotate that around so it's covered up, and then just swing it up into place just like that. And there you form the side of the leg. Now you will see as we get on into the transformation that unfortunately there is some of the red will bleed through. That just happens. Come in the front here, flip that section down. That'll just give you a little clearance because you want to bring down the back section and the legs here, um, to free up, all the tabs and such. So I guess at this point you can separate the legs. And then what I would do is open up the feet, the heels. Now, I should mention, almost forgot, there is a misassembly error. These heel pieces, instead of this part facing out and forming the heel, it should be this part, which is a little more flat. So there are ways to fix it. You'd have to pop the pin out, switch sides, and rotate them around. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't really affect the transformation, and it really doesn't affect the look. It's one of those things that only if you know it's there do you notice. Now, you might have noticed on this side, I folded that tab in after I flipped the feet up. On this side, I'm going to fold in the receiving port. Now I'll fold down these panels here. They'll tab into place just like so. Um, and then next, what I can do is come around to the front here, pull these panels up and around, and these will tab into place here on the front. And you can see what I was talking about with a little bit of the red uh, leading through, unfortunately. That is really one of my few, if only, complaints about this figure is the fact that that little bit of red comes through. Next, if you haven't already, bring down this whole section here. It will snap into place. Got a little bit of a cab girl walk mode. Next, we're going to come up to the top here. We're going to pop this section down, fold that panel up, do it again on this side, down, fold that panel up. Uh, at this point, you can bring the arms out and around. It's a bit like the old transformation. You want to keep them just out of the way like that. Bring this front panel around. Oh, excuse me. You want to you want to unhook this front section. It's on a bit of a tab there. So you can and bring this panel forward and just flip it up like so. You'll see why in a second, but just keep things, folded out. You want to actually fold it up like this. Uh, and just for a second, come around to the back here, fold up this panel, will double hinge over into place, and now you're going to see these sections right here. Well, first, actually, yeah, I would do this now. Flip up these side panels. They're they're kind of small and you can forget them. Very important that you do that. But take these side panels. They don't peg together, but they do double hinge in and out. And you want to, at this point, flip them down so they're flush against the sides there. You want to bring this panel down and have it tab into place right there. You can now bring up Prime's head. And let me just say, transforming Prime's head is the hardest part of the transformation. Going to robot mode, not that bad. Bring up the antenna. And yes, you do have to rotate the antenna down. I just want to mention that because that's something the instructions don't cover. But let me just say that is very difficult. Now that we have all this done, what you want to do is grab it from here, rotate this section around at the waist, grab Prime's torso, and rotate it around there. You can bring these panels down. They'll fill in the gap there. And now what we can do is on the double hinge, bring up these side panels. Uh, at this point, fold these little nubbins here forward. I mean, they're actually easier to do with the backpack folded down, just so you know. Fold this up along the back, and then there's a tab right there that will go into the back of the plate that Prime's head is on, and then you can fold this panel down over top, and this will help secure the backpack into place, kind of like lock the teeth down and stuff. Kind of hold that in and tab that, but it's actually quite secure. I don't feel the backpack is that pronounced. Now, getting to the arms, uh, bring them forward like this. And what we're going to do is rotate the smokestacks so they're facing forward like that. Rotate the arm around 180 degrees, unbend at the elbow, straighten that smokestack out. This is actually how the arms are supposed to face forward. Straighten that smokestack out. Oh, and at this point, see this little dongle bit? Just flip that up into place right there. Make sure I got everything else covered before I say done. Um, Open up the hand panel here and then flip Prime's hand out. Before we do this side, I'm sure you guys have already know. You can figure it out. This is where the axe would peg into place. There you go. Now I'm already starting to play with this, but let's just go ahead, fold the other hand out, uh, open up the panel, fold the hand out. There is a tab on the wrist that the panel will peg into. And there you have Optimus in its robot mode. You can open up the hands. Uh, Two joints on each hand. The finger is separate from the rest of the hand. So you do have that type of masterpiece level articulation. Come into the chest here. See if I can do it. Oh, there you go. Flip this open. The Matrix chamber looks a little bit different than what we saw in the movie, but it's okay. And unfortunately, we do have like one of the smaller style matrices. Can be taken out. You'd have to use the first fingers to hold it. Really don't want to play with that, just because it's small. But there's Prime. Let's the ion blaster. There are where are they? Oh, there are tabs right here, nondescript little things that you can then plug the ion blaster into either side. There is no storage for the axe. Kind of makes sense since it is supposed to come out of Prime's wrist, but also he doesn't use it in the movie. Obviously, that was included to pad out the accessories. There is ankle pivot here, which one, but this is the kind that it does lock into place. So for a more natural stance, I would just unclick it once just to give it a little more natural positioning. Um, Now, obviously, there's articulation. Front skirts. I mean, on Masterpiece 3.0, this would probably break the knee joint. So you got that. You got that. By the way, I've already tried. Yes, this does do the pose. That it's the Optimus Prime pose, even though it originated in Gundam. So, I mean, that this is really cool that they did work in those flaps and stuff to get stuff out of the way. Um, arm joint, swivel, swivel at the wrist. Really only a 90-degree bend at the elbow, which isn't bad. But what's also very nice here is you do have a forward butterfly joint, and that is strictly. Now, I'm going to try to do this to the best of my ability. I'm not going to say it's going to come out perfect, but try and just curl that up because you can't interlock the fingers. But the old, you know, it's over prime. Never. You know, that pose. That you can do that. It's probably also meant to help with holding the matrix, but yeah, that's there. So, you know, Hasbro, I'm saying it now. Studio Series 86 Megatron Leader Class, we know it's coming. Make sure it comes with that blaster. So the head, let me just bring this up a little so you can see the head a little better. There, it's on a ball joint, a little expressive. So there is that. Yeah, I've had to have this on a wide angle just to have like enough space to that you can see the transformation. And as I said, it wasn't that difficult. You can't. There is a grip cutout in the handle to uh, to hold the ion rifle. So let's do a little action pose there. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Well, that doesn't sound ominous. Ominous. I can speak. Obviously, you've seen the photos. There's even pictures on the box. This can do all of that classic posing you might want. And as we said, this is Blast Effect compatible. So there you go. Yeah, that's Optimus. Yeah, he doesn't have to look where he's shooting. He's going to hit it. Now, I think you can see a little how this is warped. That's just how it's came in the packaging. Also, I am aware that some people have said storing the blast effects in like Rodimus, they have warped or melted into the plastic. So there's that. But yeah, uh, that's really almost about it right now. We're going to go to my final thoughts, but we got to do this in a special way. This is it. Thi- This is the best version of G1 Optimus Prime that has been made to date. Many people, including Hasbro, they just did HasCon. This was inducted to the Hall of Fame as a Toy of the Year for 2024. But I'm going to say something. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime is so good. It has to be put in a category all itself. Because if it's not, then it's Toy of the Year, absolutely. But there were so many great figures that have been released thus far that I feel that by putting this in its own category gives other figures a chance of being Toy of the Year. Now, that's basically if you don't break down into categories and stuff. So let's call this the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime level. And this is it. This is it. This transcends being Toy of the Year. This is how good it is. Is it better than Masterpiece 3.0? Absolutely. I'm not afraid of this breaking. This is pretty much almost the same transformation as that figure, but more refined to a point where, like, I'm not afraid of it breaking. The leg panel transformation even borrows from that with bringing up for the side of the cab. Beyond. Is this better than Masterpiece 1? Masterpiece 1, I think, is a separate toy. That was a culmination of all the design efforts up to that point and was really meant to be more of a toy aesthetic as well as getting all of the little features they had seen Prime do over the years. So I'm going to say that you really can't compare. And with that being said, I'm also going to say that about Masterpiece 2.0 because that's based on an entirely different design. That's more of a Dreamwave Comics design and not meant to be a toy or animation accurate. Do not sleep on this. I see people talking about waiting for sales. Yes, Hasbro said that this figure is going to be made in large numbers, but we don't know how those large numbers will compare to figures of the past. Also, people, we heard that it might be at retail, but I can't guarantee that, and I'm not going to say with certainty that this is going to show up on Target or Walmart shelves. I think it might because it's Optimus Prime, but I don't want to be sure. This, I look at this figure. This is Superman 75, the death of Superman. You're going to have people who have never bought a Transformer since they were kids, or have never bought a Transformer before, but are fans of the property looking for this figure because this is the figure they recognize. Is this the figure we've been dreaming for 40 years? I'll be honest with you, no, and I'll tell you why. Because as a child, I did not see the disconnect between what was on screen and what I had in my hand as that toy. So, really, this is maybe the figure I've been dreaming for 20, 25 years. But this is it. I don't, I hear people talking, well, I'm going to wait for a repaint. I have my Earthrise mold. I'll get this in a different color. Those of you who are going to wait for that, ask your friends how are they enjoying their Combiner Wars Devastator in the yellow G2 colors or in the original Diaclone colors. Get my point? We're getting a new Devastator before we get any of those. Oh, absolute repaints. There is no guarantee this is going to be repainted. There's no guarantee this is going to be re released. If you see it, get it. If you think you might want it, get it. Pay the full price. Better to be wrong later and see it on sale for 20 bucks than to be wrong later and this is going for $300. This is it. Is this going to be the last G1 Optimus Prime they're going to make? No, obviously not. Because this is a marketable character and retailers are going to want it on the shelves. But no, I truly believe it will be 10 to 15 years before a new mold comes along that can compare to this. That is how good I feel this figure is. It does everything I want it to do, and I feel it will do everything you want it to do. So with that being said, I this gets my highest and strongest recommendation of any toy I have ever reviewed on this channel in 10 years. This is what the 40th anniversary is about. Celebrating characters like this in iconic and getting iconic releases in toy form like this. This is your old pal Chuck for Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. I'm not doing my usual spiel. We will see you next time.